balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News Good Day Wisconsin.
Breaking news from Green Bay, where a search will resume this morning for a missing person in the East River. A person broke through the ice near Quincy Street. Fox 11's Ben Krumholtz is on the scene. Ben, what can you tell us this morning?
Well, Lauren, we're just off of Dousman Street next to the East River. We're not expecting rescue crews back out here for a while yet this morning. Green Bay Metro Fire tells us that they got a report of someone falling through the ice here at about 11:30 last night. Fire crews got out here and some firefighters put on the rescue suits, went into the water near where the victim was reported to have last been seen. However, the fire department tells us those firefighters got out of the water after about 40 minutes of looking. That's the point where a person is deemed not able to survive for being in the water that long. The decision was made to resume the search at some point this morning. We're told by Green Bay Police it'll likely be around 10 o'clock. Obviously, conditions will be much safer. It'll be lighter out here. No idea how thick the ice is at this point. I mean, temperatures were above freezing earlier this week, just yesterday. I mean, that's not a temperature where ice can fully form. Firefighters will tell you that, especially on rivers where there's stronger currents. The East River doesn't have an overly strong current, but just looking at it, I mean, you'd be crazy to go out there with the thickness that it appears to have.
Also breaking, Oshkosh police are investigating after 2 people were killed in a crash with a car versus a train. It happened around 11:30 last night on Washington Avenue at Broad Street. 1 other person was taken to the hospital. Oshkosh police are asking anyone with information to call them. This morning, we're bringing you continuing coverage on yesterday's incident at Lambeau Field. Here is a live look at Lambeau right now. It's much calmer since yesterday afternoon. 911 calls started coming in shortly after 1 p.m. and 5 minutes later, police were on scene. Initially, officers were called for an active shooter. However, the suspect had no weapon except his car, which he used to try to run down a former game day co-worker.
Just after 1 o'clock, with guns drawn, police officers headed toward Lambeau Field, responding to what they were told was an active shooter situation.
It turns out, as we believe now, that there was no active shooter, but this was a dispute that originated between 2 employees of a contracting agency who are working in the food service department.
Police say the incident started with a former employee, now identified as 40-year-old Che Vang, confronting his former coworker in Lambeau's southeast parking lot.
That employee was seated in his vehicle. The suspect used his own vehicle to ram the victim's vehicle, driving that vehicle into another van that was parked in front of him.
Chief Smith says that's when the victim got out of his vehicle and ran into Lambeau's loading dock area. Smith says the gate of the normally secured area was up, allowing the suspect to drive down the loading dock ramp and then up another ramp into the bowels of Lambeau Field. You can see in our video just how far he drove into the stadium.
Nobody was injured in this incident. The suspect is in custody. There's no danger to anybody else. We didn't even lock down the entire stadium because this was an isolated incident that was occurring at the southeast corner of the stadium.
5 vehicles were damaged in the incident. Also, police say no weapon was ever located. In Green Bay, Ben Krumholtz, Fox 11 News.
The loading dock where this unfolded is on the southern end of Lambeau. You can see where the initial accident occurred on the map. The victim's car was rammed by Vang and pushed up underneath another vehicle. Vang then tried to run down the victim, following them all the way through the loading dock and then up the ramp where his car eventually stopped. Fox 11's Robert Hornacek spoke with people who were at Lambeau Field during the incident.
On the eve of a home game against the Minnesota Vikings and in the midst of a holiday shopping rush, this was a busy day at Lambeau Field.
First Packer game.
Fans like John Schuster descended on the stadium, but when he and his family arrived, they found themselves in the middle of a dangerous situation.
Just as we got here, I mean, it was just like a turmoil. And the first thing we could see was this car backed up on top of another one. And so we're like, something's going on.
As the situation continued, Schuster walked around to the atrium on the opposite side of the stadium.
Everything looked normal, absolutely.
The Packers were able to keep the rest of the stadium open.
It was isolated to that area. We were able to keep open our public areas, atrium, pro shop, restaurants, those types of things. So everything was isolated.
Fred Daniels from Green Bay came down to pick up a few items from the pro shop.
It was just busy and people were everywhere shopping, and if you didn't ask somebody, you wouldn't know anything was going on outside.
With the incident all wrapped up, fans can now turn their attention back to football.
Well, we're here to enjoy a great Packer game. Even though we're from Minnesota, we're Packer fans.
At Lambeau Field, Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.
Vang is being held on several recommended charges. However, he has not been formally charged. The earliest Vang will appear in court is Tuesday because of the holiday weekend. Lambeau Field is ready for fans. The stadium was shoveling out again yesterday. It's the second time this week it had to be done. Those who help with the shoveling get paid $10 an hour. Next for the Green Bay Packers, they take on the Minnesota Vikings in less than 12 hours. The Packers can't make the playoffs, unfortunately, but they can still finish tied atop the NFC North at 4-2. They could also deal with a major blow to a Vikings team that delivered the hit on Aaron Rodgers when he broke his collarbone. Brett Hundley will start as quarterback.
We're just trying to win a game. I care less about being a spoiler, whatever, they're playing for. It's just we're just trying to win a game, and that's the name of it.
Every game from now on is then we got Detroit's in it, Minnesota's in it. I think Minnesota's trying to, first round bye they're trying to get. So if we can beat them, it'll be good. But they did hurt Aaron, and we have lost them already, so why not beat them?
And it's going to be a cold game at Lambeau. Wind chills will be near 0, but don't worry because there will be free hot chocolate handed out to all the fans.
Now, Northeast Wisconsin's most accurate forecast from Fox 11's Katie Kramer.
17 for us here in Green Bay this morning. Cloudy skies and a few light snow showers are things that we're seeing this morning. We are going to see temperatures warm a few degrees today. We're not going to get a lot of warming taking place later this afternoon. As far as temperatures are concerned this afternoon, we are going to make it to around 19 to 20 degrees. And the clouds that we have around this morning are going to break apart some. We'll be partly sunny later today, but 14 at 6 o'clock this afternoon. Game time temperature 12 degrees. We will be mostly clear, but check out that wind chill around 0 as kickoff takes place at 7:30, so dress warm. That cold air is just getting started to filter in here, and it's something that will continue to plunge southward over the next couple of days. We are quiet though this morning, no snowfall, maybe a few flurries associated with the clouds, but nothing significant, nothing that's going to accumulate. And those winds, you can see those barbs rolling in here out of the northwest or from the northwest. That's what's going to pull in the colder air, something that we're already starting to see. But clouds should break apart some later on today. We've got an area of low pressure to our south and east. We've got another area of low pressure and associated cold front to the northwest. That's going to be our next weather maker. It's not going to bring us any precipitation or accumulating snowfall. May see a few flurries with that boundary as it passes through, but what it's going to bring to us is this extremely cold air settling out of northern Canada, out of the Arctic, into the upper Midwest, and that's what we will feel. 19 today, 21 tomorrow, then just 10 Christmas Day, 0 on Tuesday, and that Arctic air sits in place for a prolonged period of time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're talking wind chill factors well below 0, likely in the double digits below 0. So be ready for that extremely cold air. Christmas Day, 10 degrees, bit blustery. We're going to have a breezy day for us on Christmas Day. And the Arctic air really settles in. Overnight lows in the double digits below 0. Afternoon highs struggle to make it out of negative territory as Tuesday only set to reach a high of 0. Wednesday, a high of just 4.
In about an hour, a recovery mission will begin for a person who fell through the ice on the East River. It happened around 11:30 last night near Quincy Street in Green Bay. Fox's Ben Krumholtz has been out there all morning long. Ben, what's the latest?
We're near the corner of Main and Monroe next to the East River. Police say someone called in at about 11:30 last night reporting someone screaming for help. Police arrived and they found this large hole break through the ice in the East River. They saw the foot tracks leading into that hole from the other side of the river. The belief from them is someone likely fell into the river. Fire crews were out here as well. They put on their rescue suits, got into the water, looked around for about 40 minutes, and then they came out. That 40-minute mark is how long fire crews use to deem someone likely not being able to survive if they're in the water that long. Conditions just weren't ideal last night. They said, let's break, come back in the morning, expected back out here in about an hour and a half. You can likely see the what appear to be rope marks from the dive crew from last night. We actually had someone from the dive team out here about 15-20 minutes ago, just kind of taking a preliminary survey of the area. He told me the way the ice is right now, this will likely be a very challenging recovery operation for them. They're not exactly trained to deal with the ice the way it is right now. He says he isn't even sure if the team will be able to put in sonar equipment to kind of look around into the water. And again, you know, we've been talking with safety crews. It's never completely safe, no matter what time of winter it is, to be going out on the ice, but especially right now. I mean, temperatures were just above the freezing mark for the last couple days. You could look at the ice and it just doesn't look safe. So please be smart if you're going anywhere near water these next couple of days. We'll continue to monitor the situation. We'll bring you a full report tonight on Fox 11 News at 9. But for now, Lauren, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Ben.
The holiday spirit, the decorations, just a couple of things that shoppers told us that they like about last-minute shopping.
Did you finish Christmas shopping? Did you get everything you needed on your list?
Pretty much, yeah. Just finishing up right now, like maybe 2 more items. And
not everyone is here to shop. Some, like the Salvation Army bell ringers, ask people to give. You'll find parents hoping to capture the moment their child meets Santa Claus. As the camera flashes, some parents also hold up their cell phones and ask their children for a big smile. As shoppers continue to make their way through the mall, we found a grandma who says she has a few more gifts to buy.
I have to get my granddaughter something, and I think I'll find it right here at Hallmark.
With Christmas a few days away, shoppers also shared what they enjoy most about the holiday.
just have to say, like, the holiday spirit.
I like the decorations.
Just family, getting things for people, and the looks on their faces when they open up the present and they got what they really wanted.
In Ashwaubenon, Gabrielle Mays, Fox 11 News.
Next, for some deer hunters, a holiday hunt. It starts tomorrow in several northeast Wisconsin counties.
Hunters are buying equipment and talking about the upcoming holiday hunt.
We wanted to give it a try to see if it would fit in to help us reduce our doe numbers.
Wade Jeske says there are plenty of deer in the farmland zone of Oconto County. He's also a member of the Oconto County Deer Advisory Council. The CDAC created the antlerless-only season.
It's a county-by-county decision that can change every year. So both the hunting community and the non-hunting community needs to kind of keep tabs of that and find out, you know, which counties are in and out on a given year.
Jeff Pritzel says herd health is best when hunters harvest 2 does for every buck. And hunters say it's a chance to experience the landscape in the winter.
And it's good timing. You know, holidays usually have a little extra time off. We got white snow.
In Oconto County, Eric Peterson, Fox 11 News.
AAA projects a record-breaking 6.4 million people will travel by air this holiday weekend.
Oh, we were just surprised at how quiet it was here because we've been inundated with people all day coming in from Denver, and it got quiet when we showed up.
According to AAA, 118,000 Wisconsin residents are expected to fly. That's up 5,000 people compared to last year. Shelby Service flew into Milwaukee from Florida last week. But when she came to Ashwaubenon,
I didn't really have any expectations, but it definitely is really quiet and no one is here.
Airport Director Tom Miller said in a statement, with Christmas falling on a Monday and New Year's on a weekend this year, many people are taking an extra vacation day or two to extend their vacation time even further. But with the unpredictable Wisconsin weather, long came with a backup plan.
My trip plans are through the 26th, but I understand the weather here is pretty crazy, so, you know, we don't have our hopes up, but we plan on leaving on the 26th.
For people traveling by car, AAA expects 97.4 million people to hit the road. 2 million of those travelers are expected to be from Wisconsin. That's up 67,000 people from last year. AAA's Assistant Vice President Vicki Evans says more Americans are traveling because of the stronger economy and growing consumer confidence. In Ashwaubenon, Pafu Yang, Fox 11 News.